Guys, Thunder E here, and welcome to one of our two Tesla Model S P85D videos. Now, Tesla doesn't make this car anymore, which is why it was really interesting to actually spend some time with. Now, this model we actually drove and we were reviewing retails for about $135,000. Now, you're looking at the front of the car. It's got no engine because it's an all-electric vehicle. So you've got extra storage space in the front, which is pretty cool. It's got a massive 85 kilowatt battery, and as we step into the car with that awesome door feature, if you will, we're going to take a look at the interior, some of the features you have in the car, and how Tesla's placed it. Now, this has an all leather interior, which is what this car was loaded with. And now the first thing you see there with that lever, that is the autopilot, as well as the lane assist controls, if you will. Now, definitely check out our full video on that for the autopilot and ludicrous mode. You can see how that works and also how we actually used it to full enjoyment. So you've got a display in front which showcases some of your mapping features, your autopilot features, as well as going through some options like connecting your phone, Bluetooth, and a few other things there. Now, the main heart of the display mechanism of the Tesla is this 13-inch display, which, by the way, does not play DVDs or play videos. Just to let you know, the car is connected via LTE. You have access, of course, to streaming music like Slacker radio. You've got a rear camera, which is needed because the blind spots are pretty bad in the car in the rear, but I'm glad that's there and keep them permanently. Now, you can have your map overlay, and you do have access to some of the features of the car. So like dropping your suspension, put into ludicrous mode, put into sports mode, drive mode, things like that you can do manually directly from this massive touchscreen. And I like that they've cleaned up the touchscreen menu, so a little bit easier. The one thing I didn't appreciate is just the nature of trying to get, of course, to the moonroof there. It's not a simple process of hitting the button on the top. You actually have to go through the menu process, which I wasn't a big fan of. Hopefully that will change with a physical button in the future, or at least a much clearer menu option out in front. That being said, though, I will say I love the improvements they've done with the interface here to make it easier to access. Of course, climate controls are at the very bottom, so you can always access those. As well as also the map overlay is pretty cool. Now, in terms of the interior here, we have carbon fiber mixed in with leather, and the seats are comfortable. The seats are really comfortable in the sense they're sports seats, because this is a sports car with a sedan body. It's pretty much what it is. But the leather fabric and some of the aesthetics don't match the pricing of the car for me at $135,000. Now, you can get the option of having the center console there, which is fine, and the top here houses, of course, your cup holders, which is nice and ingenious. I do like the carbon fiber mix all around. It gives for a nice, flavorful look. The back seats also have that sporty feel to them, but getting in and out of the back seat is kind of hard just because the way the doors are angled and created. It feels like you're getting into a sports car at the back seat rather than in the front. So it can be difficult if you're like me, from 6'2" and up, to get out of the car, but still, though, it's an enjoyable experience. It's still comfortable when you seat back there. Just the entrance and exits, and also some of the aesthetics on the side panels allow for a lot of smudging, if you will. Now, of course, the moonroof opens up pretty large, giving you access to a lot of sunlight, and also you can see how well it showcases the interior of the car. Again, you're getting those sporty seats to give you a whole different flavor. Now, this vehicle that we have here actually has an extra seating row in the trunk. Now, the trunk space is pretty large. You can store a lot, but if you have more passengers to pick up, there are actually 2 extra seats you can unfold and bring up from the bottom here, giving you a total of 7 seats in the vehicle. Now, those 2 extra seats are not meant for full-size adults, or at least anyone my height at 6'2". These are more like child seats, if you will, and it's something that I find a little dangerous, but it's still a cool idea, just because your kid will be sitting back here and facing traffic, and also just looking at how the hood is in a pretty low angle. But that being said, though, you do have 2 seats in the trunk. You can actually go ahead and sit down there. Again, my height height is just a little too big for this. But you can see the extra space use here in this vehicle. The thing I like about it is the fact that you do have those awesome brakes that recharge the battery for you, and you really wouldn't have to spend money in servicing this car. It's one of the great benefits of having a Tesla. You don't have an engine, you really don't have to change the brakes. It's pretty much the tires and probably the suspension. That being said, this is a well-built, sexy looking car from Tesla. I will have to say that. Now, one of the coolest features besides the autopilot as well as the ludicrous mode, which you can check out in our other video, is the fact that you can actually call the car forward there. It's got the ability to actually come, it's a silly ability, but it's really cool anyway. You can bring the car out from your garage by just pretty much hitting the button on your remote. So that is the Tesla P85D Model S. I like it. I still see improvements that Tesla needs to make to really hit on that luxury market if you're going to spend $135,000. But definitely check out our autopilot video, which is next. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy your entertainment.